about that is make it hurt.
I'm in the house. Oh my God. I'm here. Somebody crank up the Ric Flair music. Somebody do it. I feel like them tonight. What's going on this evening? Welcome once again on this Monday night, 7 o'clock, which means for me it's time for me to get in here. Welcome one more time to the Big Time Show that's being seen and heard live right now as we speak. Now on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or X, whichever one you want to call it, and on TikTok as well. Good evening to everybody on tonight. I hope that you guys will come in and share, if you will. It would be nice if you would do that. Hit that share button for me. Come in and hit the like button. As we come in and try to talk about, of course, the latest news of the Dallas Cowboys. As it seems as if each day or every other day, Cowboys always making news, and certainly on today, beyond a shadow of a doubt, they made news because we started hearing, we got to hear them talk. We hadn't heard Jerry talk in a while. We hadn't heard Coach Schottenhimer have his first say. We haven't heard Steven talk for a while, but we got a little small glimpse of what, just a little something that we can talk about, debate, and some folks are still upset, even more upset today because of what we heard in the press conference. I just want to go ahead and hit the home run from the beginning before I get really started on that. At this point, y'all, some things you just know what to expect from them. It's just no question. The Cowboy, Jerry and Steven, I'm just convinced that they are going to be Steven and Jerry. They haven't changed in years. Why do you expect anything now to change? They're not, you think that they ought to be desperate enough by this time. I don't see it. I don't hear it, but it's not shocking to me because we're headed off really in the same direction. So I'll get into that in just a second. Let me speak to everybody I'm sharing. That's the reason why I'm looking down. I hope that you would help your boy out tonight by doing the same. Let me see who we got in here. Hey, Demetrius, I see you. Mr. Jana, how you doing? Demetrius, again. Now, I got a few people on here. Let me see if somebody over here in TikTok lane. Only one me. Hello. Ray, how y'all doing tonight? Cade, Aisha, Hector Munoz. I see you. I see all of you. Good evening on to you tonight. I don't know who. TikTok is kind of funny because, man, I don't know none of these names. I don't know who watching. And you just have to, just guess. If you know me, then hey, y'all, hello. I really don't. I know where to start, but I don't know where I want to start. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on the press conference because nothing really is surprising me about what I saw today. Um, when you have true professionals, Demetrius Adams, I just saw you on TikTok pop up there. What's going on? What's going on, Demetrius? I don't know what I look like. I set the show up in a different setup tonight. Demetrius over there TikTok. Let me know if I'm way too big. I can't redo it. I just need to know that for future references. And is my face like a big old cartoon character, or is it is it looking decent as far as the setup? Just have to let me know that now I know to do it the way I was doing it. I did this for a reason on tonight, and I'll let you know. I really don't want to spend a lot of time on it because Jerry and Steven, and I even throw in Coach McCarthy, they're professionals. It's no question about that. They know how to work the media. They're professionals in their articulation. They're professionals on how to talk. They know how to, dodge a question by answering it in a crazy way. I mean, that's what they do. So, but I will say a couple things that I took from it. And hey, Demetrius, I see you. Let's go Cowboys. That's right. I will go ahead and say this. Let me start off by this. I don't know how you can't like Coach Schottenhimer. On a personal level, you can't judge him as a head coach because he's never been one. So you don't know how he's going to operate. You don't know if he's going to be a good head coach. You don't know if he's going to be a horrible one. You just don't know. You can't judge a man on his actions when he's never done it. I think it's got more to do with the choice of him being the coach. And that's just something that if you don't like it, just something you're just gonna have to get over. He's not going anywhere. He is the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. What's up, Amp? My brother in here. What's going on, Roy? I see all of you, man. I appreciate everybody popping in. We got to move on from the feelings. Whoever you wanted, some of the names that you guys wanted, the Cowboys weren't even entertaining. It was not even a phone call made. It was, it was just, wishful thinking. And that's just something you have to get over. For all of you that wanted Dion, y'all forgive me for moving around. You should have known just by what Dion represents that he was not going to be the Cowboys head coach. It goes too much against what Jerry kind of represents, as far as structure of an organization goes. Dion does not match that at all. Y'all forgive me for moving around. I'll get settled. Ben Johnson didn't even get a phone call. Um, Aaron Glenn, nobody. I mean, they weren't interested. So, you know, I guess you can make an argument and say, hey, at least show the fan base that you trying to get the best, or so called the best. Um, didn't happen. Ben already put out he want control. He was not gonna get that in Dallas. We know that. I don't know what Aaron Glenn wanted, but y'all know the reason why I say I don't believe Aaron Glenn would get the job anyway. But that's another show for another time. You just have to be. You got to know the Jones family, see how they work. Kellen. In fairness to him, I'm getting ready. Kellen probably was saying, look, y'all just gonna have to wait if it's me, because man, I got my mind on this Super Bowl. I mean, hey, it's just the truth. If you was the offensive coordinator and getting ready for the Super Bowl, you may think about it during the first week, but you're not gonna make that announcement until after the Super Bowl. Kellen Moore got way too much on his mind right now, and I would make them wait. So I don't blame him if since everybody say it was the job that he wanted. But I'm really getting the feeling, for whatever reason, why you may think, whether you're saying he's cheap, the Jones family, whether you're saying Jerry want another puppet, whatever you say, when you really think about it, he's looking like the best man for the job, for their criteria. And some of that criteria may not be necessarily on the football field. Is really, we don't do things according to the way other organizations do it. There's criteria when it comes to the Jones family, and sometimes some of that criteria don't have absolutely nothing to do with the football field. It ain't got nothing to do with the X's and O's. It's just got something to do with, as crazy as it may sound, and is he gonna disturb my peace? Is he gonna do all that type of stuff? Can I do what I want to do? All that type of stuff. So it is what it is. Y'all already know what I've said for a while now, that we are going to have to win in spite of the front office, in spite of particular whatever coaching you may say, in spite of all that. This is the way that we're going to have to win. We need to get talent. So that's why I'm really not going to worry about the conversation at all. Overall, I got to tell you that I didn't have no problem with Coach Schottenhimer. I expected him to do well in the media. If you listen to him all year long, he's outstanding when his communication with the media when he was offensive coordinator just this year. So it's no surprise that was there, very heartfelt. Thinking about his dad, his mother was there, and all that type of stuff. I didn't have no problem. Of course, he gonna say we gonna do this and we gonna do that. And one of his key lines was, he said, if we're not talking about winning the Super Bowl or not winning the championship, why aren't we here? One of the criteria, obviously, for him being there was his relationship with Dak Prescott. There's no secret here. Word is that Dak endorsed him for the job in the first place. There was a relationship that was developed there. We don't know to what extent Schottenhimer was, even though he had the title of offensive coordinator. We just don't know to what extent really what he do. He didn't call plays. I'm quite sure he was involved in the meeting, but as far as calling plays, as far as install goes, we really just don't know. I'm quite sure Schottenhimer can answer that question, but he couldn't. We don't know. It was Mike McCarthy's offense. So He was just that entitled. Just, I'm quite sure he had some responsibility. But it just because, this dude knows football. Y'all know the stats. Over 25 years in coaching. I mean, he knows. He knows the game. He's a little different. And Jerry was right in highlighting that he's been around the system the whole time. He's been around the system for the whole, been around a football structured system all his life. His father was one of the great coaches of all time. No question about that. He was great. He's been around Pete Carroll. Been around, a structured, a heavyweight type coach. This dude knows football. He's just never been in the spot for. So I'm not judging him at all until it's time. I want to tell you this. I had no problem with him today. He said all the right things as predicted to me. He did. No problem. However, I did have a problem with two things today. And I ain't going to spend a lot of time on it because I'm moving on. This press conference was very emotional for the Schottenhimer family. All that type of stuff. He gave you insight to what he does. He is run heavy. He said it today. Play action. He said that today. All that type of stuff. So, nothing new. If you research Coach Schottenhimer, you know what he liked to do. So it's no surprise. I believe that it is a clue, however, to what Marty Schottenhimer may be looking for in the draft. I think beyond a shadow of doubt that we'll be looking for, of course, a running back in this year's draft. How high? We don't know. I would think it would be early. I don't know. Okay? This is what the part that I didn't like. Number one, Steven didn't talk too much. And since the media reported it, that Jerry actually wanted Dion, but Jerry Jr. and Steven wanted Schottenheimer. So, look who the coach is. Steven is kind of running the show. I thought they were going to press Steven trying to get in his head, but I think they only asked him 2 questions. That's the one I wanted to hear talk. And then the other thing, of course, is Jerry Jones talking. You ask him a question, he got to be the star. He's going to give you these long Mr. Rogers neighborhood answers. Just non-stop talking. Won't give up the mic. Won't do nothing. Just want to yap and hear himself talk. Want to talk about the history. Want to talk about the past. And answer about this main question. Instead of trying to defend himself, why he did that. Want to tell everybody he's a risk taker and all that type of stuff. And I'm just like, man, Mr. Rogers, please. Good Lord. Please, just can somebody ask the coach some questions? This is his day. Let him shine. Let him shine. Just leave him. I mean, that's the part I couldn't stand. But overall, I was cool with Jerry. Not Jerry, but Coach Schottenheimer's his press conference. Now the real work begins. Obviously, you heard about all the coordinators' jobs that are up and people flying in left and right, and they're already, will be here. I would suspect that we're gonna have a few hirings coming. As soon as maybe tonight, Matt Eberflus just came in, and obviously is talking about the defensive coordinator job. He's in town. I wouldn't be surprised if we hear tomorrow that he's been hired as our defensive coordinator. I believe all signs are pointing toward that way. And I think that would be a good hire as well. But of course, we'll see. All right. That since all that's done, I don't even want to talk about a bunch of talking. You see what I'm saying? See, we didn't talk too long. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to the Super Bowl. And we look, I'm tired of talking. Y'all want to talk about it? There'll be plenty of other shows with my brothers in content creator land. I'm quite sure we're going more in depth about the press conference. I'll let them have that. I think Amp is on here. He may go deeper than I just did. I don't want to go deep. I'm tired of talking. It's time to get things done now. And unfortunately, because of Jerry and Steven, they have left Coach Schottenhimer a mess. Y'all don't believe me, do you? It's too much. You know, even though I'm happy about Coach Schottenheimer, I'm giving him a fair chance. He's yet to be proven, and there's no reason to put him in the ground or bury him. He ain't done nothing yet. Until we see it, that's when I'll say, okay. You know, all this type of that. Does it keep the team motivated? Does the guys ready to play? All that type of stuff. I don't even want to judge him on nothing. So in other words, that part of the criteria for me, we won't know that until September. I can't even judge him on the draft because I don't know how. I know he will have input. I get that. I know he will have input, but how much influence will he really have when it comes to Will, Jerry, and Steven? That's the other question. So we'll see about that. That's coming up in the draft. We'll find all that. He'll be in the war room, no doubt. He'll be answering, calling and talking to new players that got drafted and all that type of stuff. He'll be in on the visits when they come in and all that. That's going to happen. But how much really input is like, I want this guy on my team. And they say, okay, and then they draft. That's what I'm looking for. But even with that, even with all the picks we have, 10 as of now, let's be truthful. We have talent and we have depth, but we're injury prone. And so when you look at everything, y'all share if y'all can. Appreciate everybody that's here. I got an issue, y'all, with, it's one thing to be a successor, and then it's one thing to inherit a mess. And the real truth of the matter is, now that he's here, now we know our head coach is Coach Schottenheimer. Not his fault, but the truth is, he's inherited a mess. I want to now look at some of the mess as I promised y'all on Saturday. We need to look at some of this stuff, and I need your GM hats on now. As we look at some of the mess, step by step. We got our coach. The staff will come easy to me. The staff will come easy, so I really ain't really worried about that. But when we get past the hiring of the coaches, now this is what we got to worry about. The team is getting ready to see the East-West Shrine Bowl and all that. Senior Bowl coming up, scouting part and all that. So the draft process will begin there. But there's something before that needs to happen. Right there. Right there, as you can see. See, this is the mess that he has to deal with, and it's not his fault. This is what Jerry and Steven have messed up. And here you have, even with your 10 draft picks, you're going to have a lot of holes to fill. And keep in mind, you're going to have to fill in those holes with a cheap guy at the helm, Stephen Jones, worried about the cap and all that type of stuff. This is what we got to go ahead and do. Right? We already know Zeke gone. I appreciate that, Mike. But let's look at what we got to do. And what I want to know from y'all, because this is where we'll pretty much spend the rest of our time together tonight. Let's look at it. These are the free agents. Let's start right there from the top. And y'all mark it down. I'm going to mark it down as we go. Brandon Cooks. Now, do we want to keep Brandon Cooks? I need y'all to type it in. Y'all type it in. And keep in mind, we know what we want in the draft. Because see, some of y'all going to say automatically, no, I'll go get somebody in the draft for that, which is what my answer is. But we know how the Cowboys are. You see what I'm saying? You don't know really what they trying to do. We thinking maybe wide receiver or linebacker. First round, they sort of go pick an offensive lineman. You know that. So that's my question. I need y'all to type in Brandon Cooks, yes or no. I know y'all looking down at the list. We're going to come to all that. But I want that. I want to know, do you want to keep Brandon Cooks? And you going to run that back when we already know what Cooks is and all of that type of stuff. Do you want Brandon Cooks? I'm saying some of y'all answer real quick. I'll go ahead and give you mine. Mine is no. Appreciate his service, but we can get better at the wide receiver 2 position. Now, as Kid Cowboy just said, and see, that's the part of the problem. We have this mentality of being cheap. While everybody else signing everybody going to playoffs and Super Bowls and all that type of stuff, and the Jones family still trying to go against the grain by saying, hey, we're going to do it our way, and everybody else just passing by. I'm going to say no, and I see some of your comments. There's no right or wrong answer. It's just depending on what you want. I could just stop with Brandon Cooks there because the wide receiver position in the draft is pretty good. But if you draft and if you say re-signing Cooks, then let's throw in the Cowboys. This Cowboys. We then know that loyalty is a big part of the problem when it comes to Dallas. They just loyal to people. I don't want that. Okay. If you draft a wide receiver in the 3rd round and he's better than Cooks, put him on the field. Just because you re-sign Cooks does not mean that he should be starting. Don't know if you know the system or not, Kid Cowboy. Schottenhimer, that was Mike McCarthy's offense. I'm quite sure you're going to keep a lot of things there that is going to be comfortable. I'm just saying that I know Cooks is gone. Okay, I got you. I just want to see what y'all saying. Go down the list. Zach Martin. Now, I'm going to put, it's not about, see, loyalty will get, if Zach does not want to retire, we got 25 on the board now. Well, some of them, not really 24. It depends on Zach and him wanting to play. If he wants to play, I say resign. Because even if he's healthy, he's still one of the top 10 best guards in the league, even though he's old. That's just the bottom line. He was hurt last year, playing hurt. to the point where he couldn't play no more. He couldn't move. He's had the surgery. I'm quite sure he's going to be ready to go if he wants to play, though. Okay? If he's healthy and wants to play, I say resign him. And I believe you would get a friendly deal from him for him. I think so. Because I don't think he wants to go to another team. I think that he wants. Big Bird says no. I get it. Hey, I ain't saying you're wrong. See, when we do draft linemen, everybody want to think that we got to get them in the first round all the time. You can go get since they love to develop all the time, you can develop. You can develop a guard. All right? Let's go down again. DeMarcus Lawrence. Yes or no? Yes or no? DeMarcus Lawrence. DeMarcus Lawrence getting up there in age has always, to me, always has been a problem as far as staying healthy. And then, of course, when you start talking about D-Law has been one that has never taken really no friendly deals, and a guy of his caliber would definitely want double-digit money. So are you willing to put the money on a injury-prone, older defensive end? Okay? Somebody say, I see some folks say no, and I see you saying yes. And me personally, I think they've already drafted Nealon, and I really believe that they are ready to turn those keys over to him. And you also can draft more edge. You can draft more depth. You can do all that. I see somebody saying D-Law, yes, I get it. I get it. So it's kind of split. Some major say bye D-Law, okay? I think that's, you can get more edge. You can get younger. You can get, I dare to say, cheaper. You can do all this. These are free agents now. Some of them are already gone, like Zeke Elliott, he's already gone. It is what it is. Oh, Lord, I guarantee you, here come King Cowboy, since he in here. The one and only, the great Trey Lance. Oh, my God. Yay or nay, do you re-sign Trey Lance? Do you sign Trey Lance? Keep in mind, Cooper Rush contract is out as well. So do you get rid of Trey? I ain't seen nobody saying that. Matthew Carter says bye. Kid Cowboy, of course, is gonna say yes because he believes he's the next coming of Joe Montana or something like that. B Bird says no. Regina says no. No. Mitra says Gerald, no. On Twitter. Appreciate you over there, cuzzo. JD says Cooper signing with Washington. JD, I don't know where you got that from, but I don't know. I don't know. I would think that if Cooper leaves, I believe that I don't know his relationship with Coach Schottenhimer. I would think that's good, but I don't think that Cooper Rush fits Washington style of play. I don't. I think Mariota, who they have now, Marcus Mariota, reflects their play. Oh, just your opinion. I got you, JD. I think Mariota fits Washington style of play perfectly. Because it's really not much. I ain't saying he's good as Jaden Daniels, but the way they play are very similar. Mariota uses his feet. That offense is geared toward a guy that's very athletic, and that is what Mariota is exactly. So I don't think that going to Washington. Personally speaking, as far as Trey Lance goes, I say no. I say yeah. Let him go. Let him go find somewhere else to play. Um, I don't know why. And then remember now, Trey was making $5 million. I mean, if he signed with the Cowboys, my question is, how much are they gonna pay him? Certainly, you're not paying them $5 million. No way. Not as much as they scared of how cheap they are with money and all that type of stuff. Nah, you don't pay Trey Lance money like that. But then, will Trey take that? I believe Trey can get another $5 million deal from somewhere else. I believe that for him. I do. I believe that for Trey Lance. I believe that. I think Trey can get way more money somewhere else from somewhere else than Dallas. So you know how it is. And in Trey's case, a person that looked like he won't be a starter in this league, then there ain't no way they gonna let him get $10 million. Kid Cowboys. Cowboys not doing that. Cowboys not doing that. No way. William bring up a great point about Cooper Rush, who's probably made some money this year by being by leading this team. He's played pretty decent and is bagging up that. He may have played himself into some money. Cooper Rush, no. And on that note, it depends on what that is. Not too many teams are going to be paying a big money for backup quarterbacks, especially when you got a healthy quarterback. So, I just can't see that. I can't see it. I can't see it. So I'm kind of wondering. I believe the Cowboys, if the case may be, it won't be hard to find a quarterback. Yeah, you bring up a good point there, Bobby, because the door is going to be open for a lot of guys in Cleveland, because especially if Cleveland get their money back. If they get their money back, all these names that you're talking about, the Trey Lances, the Justin Fields, possibly even the Russell Wilsons, because I believe that Russ has seen his last game in Pittsburgh. You know what I'm saying? That Cleveland gonna be looking for a starter, and I don't think Cooper Rush would be considered a starter, but he would be considered a liable backup. So I don't get it. I don't get it. Then of course you still got the draft. Okay, so the Cowboys love drafting the guy, and then of course this is one of the times where free agency may come into play for the Cowboys by going to get a veteran quarterback too. Keep that in mind. I ain't talking about no big name, but a name that everybody knows that's not going to cost you a whole lot of money. About $3, $4, $5 million, maybe somewhere in that area for a backup. There's plenty of those guys out there. I'm quite sure they can find it. That won't be an issue. So I think both Rush and Trey Lance probably will cost way too much. I believe that. So I'll throw that away. Eric Kendricks. I will say yes to Eric Kendricks simply because we are way too injured from the linebacker position. And some of you may say, well, let's get it in the draft. Well, I still don't want a whole bunch of rookies playing early. I don't. I want a linebacker. I want a linebacker. Uh, Not yet, but it's looked like Matthew, like Everfloss, however you pronounce his name. He looked like he's gonna be the candidate. Right now, y'all, listen. We only have. Let me put my face in the right spot here. Y'all forget. Right now, y'all, we only have Marriage Little Fall. We only have Michael, if you want to count him as one. And I think we got Nick Vigil. They're not going to re-sign Damone Clark. They don't, Damone that went into the doghouse. We're not going to keep that. I mean, who else? We don't have anybody. So just based off of the limited amount of linebackers that we have, I think, I think and I understand that was a great point. Somebody just said, William said that Zimmer is gone. So that means Kendrick's going to be gone. The rumor is that Zimmer is going to retire. That's what everybody's saying. So I think the value for Kendricks, we need him. We don't have any linebackers. I mean, we don't have nothing. And I'm sure that's why, I know we're talking about the free agents, but ladies and gentlemen, listen, I would not be surprised at all if we sign, I wouldn't be surprised at all if we draft Campbell out of Alabama with the first round pick. I wouldn't be surprised at all. And yes, there would be some real sexy names there. But please understand that Campbell is a dog and he automatically makes your team better. I wouldn't be surprised. See, our draft board and the Cowboys draft board are quite different. What we say is a first round pick, the Cowboys say, well, we got them down at 28. I mean, that's just how they do it. I wouldn't be surprised if they do that. Because Daddy would be taking care of you'll get a great player, at least in college he was. And then you also be taking a need. We need linebackers. We need linebackers. We need a linebacker. Definitely. I don't think that's a debate for anybody. I think everybody would agree with me on that. We need linebacker and we need another running back. We need defensive tackle. We need, yes, we need offensive line, but I'm not sure it got to be with the first round pick. But that's what we need. We need that. So keep that in mind. And if Kendricks leaves, I mean, good God, we're not, if he don't sign, if he does not sign, then that linebacker room is a must. It's just no doubt about it. If Kendricks does not re-sign with us, it is. It's always. You shouldn't be mad if the Cowboys pick a linebacker in the first round. Now, see, that's what I'm saying. Remember now, y'all. At least this is my opinion. Again, this is my opinion. The first 3 picks, first, second, and third round, they got to be home runs. Especially when your mind made up that you're not gonna spend money in free agents. You have to hit home runs. You have to. So that's especially the first round pick. So whether it's running back first round, whether it's the edge, if it's linebacker, if it's what? You got to get a linebacker. Even if you pick up Campbell, watch this, y'all. Even if you get Campbell in the first round, guess what? He's not a middle linebacker. We still gonna have to go find another middle linebacker. You see what I'm saying? I'm just saying, and of course, JD said all those guys gonna be gone. That's fine. I'm just saying that linebacker is a definite need. It ain't no doubt about it. I say just eliminate that need. We need to re-sign Kendricks. No question. That's me now. Brian Anger. Not gonna spend no time on that. We talking about an all-pro punter. I mean, come on now. Come on now. Ain't nothing to talk about that. We talking about a Pro Bowl kicker like that. Ain't nothing to talk about. If you don't re-sign him, I'm just gonna ask Calvin, man, what in the world y'all doing, man? When you get one of the best in a special teams area, it's nothing to talk about. You re-sign them. All right? Yeah, Walker is a good one, Kid Cowboy. I'll take him. I'll take him. I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad if we get him in the first round. Listen, if Genty is there at 12, okay, and you pick Walker from Georgia, the linebacker. Me personally, I'm gonna say, man, I wish we had Genty. That just scalped you. That's good stuff. But at the same time, I'm gonna be like this. I'm gonna be almost kind of like the way I feel about Schottenhimer. Like, yeah, we could have had more sexier pick, but really ain't mad about Coach Schottenhimer getting the job. I wouldn't be mad if we pick Walker. I wouldn't. That's a home run hitter. That's a great player. He's a day one star. Yeah, I would love it. I would love that. If Jet is there, I say, oh God. But you also got to keep in mind, y'all, when it comes to, even since I keep seeing Genty's name in the chat, y'all got to keep in mind, man, when the Cowboys ain't trying to spend no money on no running back in the first round. Y'all know that. That's why I'm saying a lot of y'all going to be disappointed. I got a feeling you're going to be disappointed. Because they go by salary cap. What up, Frank Train? They go by salary cap, y'all. They ain't going by how talented the person playing. This is Jones family, y'all. This is Jones family. They all know how they are. You know how Steven is. See, y'all want all that, but y'all keep acting like y'all don't know who I'm talking about. Y'all know good and well that Stephen Jones is looking at the cap and saying, if we pick a guy at 12, we gonna have to pay him first round money, which is gonna be a little bit. You know what I'm saying? For about 5 years, and then we'll probably let him go, or we might franchise him 1 year, and that'll be about it. And running backs come, they're in every draft. They're in every draft. And then, of course, as most of you are saying in the chat here, that we all know, because most of y'all have already studied running backs as far as this year people in the draft, the running back room is loaded. See? So you might miss Genty, but you might get, these type of guys. There's nothing to talk about. So you don't get mad. It's just that the Cowboys get cheaper by picking a running back later on somewhere else. All right? So there's nothing to talk about with Anger. Now, here's an interesting. Jordan Lewis. I don't even think it's interesting. Speaking of loyalty, this is all this man knows. I ain't got to play with it. To me, Jordan Lewis is a yes. It ain't even a question. Why? Don't forget, Diggs may not, I heard some reports say Diggs might be ready to go at training camp. You see what I'm saying? I've also heard people say Diggs gonna miss a whole lot of more time. When you start talking about knees are covered off microfracture surgery, when you start talking about a guy who already had an ACL on that same leg, had cleaned it up a little bit, it's not a guarantee he's gonna be right. I told y'all the way he was playing last year that he wasn't right. Let's just say that he's not right. Then Bland, who should be better this year because he made it all, through. It took him long enough to get back on the field. But again, these knee injuries are tricky. I think Bland will be really ready to go next year, beyond a doubt. He's gonna be ready to go, and I believe that he will be, that one side will be good. Okay, but the other side is questionable because of Diggs' injury. And even if he does come, what he gonna look like? So you need to shore up the cornerback position. And Jay Lou is beyond a shadow of a doubt one of the better ones in this whole league. He can play. Had an excellent year last year. The question is though, Jay Lou, in my opinion, has played himself into some money. Now, y'all, somebody said something earlier, but let me tell you something. Which team looks more attractive? The Dallas Cowboys or the Washington Commanders? Please understand, y'all, that Dan Quinn is going to make that phone call to Jordan Lewis. Y'all do know that, don't you? You do realize it, right? Y'all do know that. You do know that's gonna happen. I personally say sign him, but you know that Dan Quinn is gonna make the Washington Commanders Dallas Cowboy East. That's all he's doing. William, I agree with you, but that's impossible. And we're not gonna trade up like that to go get Abdul Kader. That's the one guy I would want for sure. But Abdul ain't gonna. You got to jump up to at least 4 maybe to be safe and to get them because he ain't gonna last. He ain't gonna last long. And to jump up from 12 to maybe 4 or 5, no, you got to give up a lot. The Cowboys definitely ain't doing that. But you got to keep that in mind. You don't think Dan Quinn would love to have Jay Lou in this team here on Washington team? See, Washington ain't going nowhere, and the athletes are going to be figuring out, y'all. Some of these guys that played long enough, they want to have a chance to win. Jay Lou may be right at that position, that thought process now. Got a new coach. You took Zimmer away that made him better. You took Dan Quinn away that made him better. He may not want to play for. He may not want to play for Matt Overfluss. He may not want to play for him. May not want it. I can see Jay Lou leaving for more money. Because again, Jerry and Steven are going to get in the way. You know they ain't finna offer Jay Lou no crazy amount of money. I'm saying Jay Lou has the potential to go to a team, and you know they overpay in free agency. I believe Jay Lou can pick up. And y'all, here's the other thing. This other thing, y'all. Washington has $100 million for this year's free agency. Did y'all just hear what I just said? So they wouldn't mind giving Jay Lou $7-8 million. They wouldn't mind doing that. They got $100 million. $100 million. That's not going to happen. I wouldn't be surprised if Jay Lou leave. I want him to stay, and I'm quite sure the Cowboys want him to stay. But money talks now. Jay Lou played himself into some more money with the way he played this year. Seriously. And what the Cowboys may be talking about, well, we'll offer you $5 million. Man, please. I guarantee you Dan Quinn gonna make that phone call, y'all. I guarantee that. Stephen Jones was right Free agency is a place where people overpay. But really, is it overpaying when you got that amount of money? When you got that amount of money, is it really overpaying? See? And Jordan is at this change. Listen, Jordan is at this place now in his career. So you got to think about all this. Where this may be his last chance at a real payday. Seriously. Seriously. Okay? So you got to factor all that in. I personally want J Lou to come back, but I think J Lou gonna be gone. See what I'm saying? Just because of stuff I just said. Lionel Joseph, I'll make this slow and quick. I will say this. He still can play and he can help you. And I believe you can re-sign him for cheap. Now this is the time where I agree with Steven. Joseph should be cheap. We need experience because we sure ain't got no, real, other than Olsen. Mozzie got better, but I wouldn't mind keeping him if he wants to play. I wouldn't mind keeping Joseph. I wouldn't mind doing that. You ain't gonna pay a lot for him. And if he wants more, then you just let him go. But, he's not a starter anymore. He's more of a rotational piece. So you pay him on rotational value. He's not a starter anymore. I've already talked about Cooper Rush. Zeke Elliott is already gone. CJ Goodwin, another loyalty guy from the Cowboys. CJ is a great special teams player. I will say yes from this standpoint when it comes to him. Bones is gone. CJ Goodwin is known throughout the league as one of the better, special team players in the entire game. You don't want your best, Bones, who's your best special team coach, one of the better ones in the league, and then lose your best special teams player. That's me talking. CJ can't command gigantic money anyway. He would be cheap. He ain't really, he hadn't done nothing like that. He ain't done nothing like that to say, hey, I want $5 million. No, can't get that. It's just kind of like a wait and see game. How much his agent talking about? Why would you do that? So I say wait and see on it. The long snapper. I'm sorry. The long snapper. Trent Seed. That ain't noteworthy, but he's incredibly dependable. See what I'm saying? These, cheap guy. I don't know. I'm quite sure there's some long snappers around, but Sieg is one of the best. You don't get rid of it. Look, when you got the best, I can't just give up the best in every position. Okay? Schumer, oh God. Schumer, it don't know. Y'all know how the Cowboys are. They love linemen. Schumer, the little time he played well. He's gotten better. He will be cheap because he'll be valued as a backup guy. I think he's worth. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I want y'all to. I know what y'all want, and I'm saying what I want, but if we're talking about the Stephen Jones way, then he might get re-signed. When you start talking about Joe, him, according to, if you thinking the Stephen Jones way, then the Stephen Jones way will sign him to a contract. Seriously. Cheap. He's cheap and he's not bad at all. And he's a good rotational guy. I mean, hey, he's not gonna start for you anyway, but if he did start, it ain't horrible. I think so. Based off that, I would say sign. I know what y'all saying. I would say sign. Okay. OC. Really, to be honest with you, I believe we wasting time talking about OC. Beyond a shadow of doubt, OC has played himself into some big money. And I believe it's money that the Dallas Cowboys will not pay. Y'all know that. OC has played himself, and because he played good ball, he's played himself into a nice piece of change. That's what I believe. So I don't even think he's talking about it. We know the Cowboys ain't gonna pay. I'm talking about he gonna get $10 million plus as a defensive tackle. $10 million plus. And teams will overpay for him. And I know a lot of us saying Dan Quinn, but keep in mind Jonathan Allen is still there and Payne is still there. If I'm not mistaken, is Payne still there? I don't know. I think yeah. Cowboys not gonna pay that money. I think we all know that. We're not gonna pay him. But I hope y'all keep a score of all the holes that we gonna have if we letting all these folks go. And the draft ain't gonna get you that. Because you only got 10 picks. I believe I done called out just on my count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I already counted out 5. Okay. Obviously, I just don't even want to waste time. Hey, he earned it. He need to go. I mean, he don't need to go, but he going. That's the way I look at it. All right. Rico Dowdell, or Dowdle, whatever you want to call him. Rico. It all depends on y'all. But see, all this got to be done before the draft. Also, it will answer a draft question depending on what they do. If Rico Dowdle is gone, because again, teams, well, I don't know, teams might overpay. I don't see nobody bringing them in as a day one starter. I can't see it. But Rico, you got to jump into the mind of the player now. Rico, this is Rico's best opportunity as of now to change his life even more because of his production on the field. So he might go where the money goes. That's how you got to start thinking about this stuff. Oh, see right there? See? And I mean, you can't blame him. I mean, I don't know how much Rico got paid last year, but he wasn't. Was he hundreds of thousands of dollars in for that? But he's played himself to a contract, more money. And if he leaves, I can't blame him. But the reason why I said earlier, if Rico is gone, then ladies and gentlemen, I really do believe that your first round pick will be Genty if he's there. Because you ain't got no other running back. You left then, if Rico leaves, you left with Lemke, as of now, short guy. Forgive me, I have a brain fart there. Y'all gotta forgive me, y'all know I'm a little older. So, Deuce Vaughn, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, what you got? You gotta get another running back. If Rico gone. That's what I'm saying. Some of these free agents that we about to let go is going to kind of shape the way we draft. You see what I'm saying? If Rico is gone, first round pick is Genty. If he's there. I ain't waiting till the second round now. I'm getting the best running back on the board, and then I'm going in the draft and get another one. Or either you're going to spend money in free agency to go get another one. I mean, you got to do it. As if Rico leaves. Me personally, I'm saying give him some money. And yeah, you're probably going to be overpaying for him a little bit, but his ceiling as far as getting paid can't be that high. The Cowboys love to spend no more than about $3 to $4 million on a running back. Well, that's about what you're gonna do for Rico. That's what you're gonna do for Rico, right? That's their wheelhouse. Rico will sign that contract tomorrow. If he's getting paid, I don't know what his contract is, so somebody put it in for him. How much did Rico get paid this season? Somebody find that and put it in. You might have Rico $3 million and he'll sign. Personally, I want Rico back because Rico proved that he's a pretty good running back. I agree. To leave. I think that's going to happen. I know that's going to happen, but I believe they won't do as much as if Schottenhimer stay true to himself. You're going to need another running back because they'll run heavy. Schottenheimer's a run heavy guy, which is what we've been begging for anyway. So yeah, you're going to draft another running back whether you sign Rico or not. You might get two. You know how the Cowboys are. Whoever the best running back in the XFL league, whatever the X, whoever they are, they might be a Cowboy next year. Rico got paid $1.255 million last year. Okay. Give Rico $4 million, which is cheap. Thank you, Jay Brown. Give him that. Man, you're gonna have a bag of running back. I just don't want to be. See, if you get rid of Rico, you better be giving me Genty in the first round. I gotta have the best. Even if you got a couple fifth round picks, you got 3 fifth round picks. You need to make sure that you get Genty. Yeah, I see you, Matthew. $1.25 million. If you offer him $3 million or $4, that's about a guaranteed sign, and you good. It fits the Jones family thing. Why do I have to pay a big running back all this money when I can get 2 or 3 with the same amount of money? Is that what they said? Okay, give Rico 3. Whoever you draft, if you draft Genty there or whatever, you got the real dangerous 1-2 punch, and you're paying no more than probably about 5 to 6, maybe $7 million a year with 2 running backs. That sounds like the Cowboys' way. He'll get exactly what Genty probably getting this rookie year. $3 million a year, $4 million a year. That's it. Seriously. That's what he'll get. I like it. I like what you said, William. Scatterboo and down, thunder and lightning. You got to draft running backs anyway, so I'm good. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. I don't have no problem with it. I think we signed Rico. I think we should. Chauncey Golston, who played well last year when he finally got the chance, which is what he did. I think we ought to sign Chauncey. We don't want to lose all the depth that we have. I mean, we already trying to figure it out. You got that right, Matthew. I bring my old body, best as I can. I definitely wouldn't take no hits. Couldn't take no one hit problem. I come out of town for $3 million myself. Get lit up like a Christmas tree. Just punishing me. Yeah. I want to keep Chauncey because of his just like JD just said, he's versatile. He can play inside and outside. He was solid for us last year. Solid player, and most of all, I just don't think he's gonna cost that much. The question is, would he want to stay in Dallas though? See, nobody knows if it's Matt Uberfluss. Listen, nobody knows him. Nobody. He runs a 4-3. That's all we know about him. His stats speak for itself. He's a good defensive coach. But the question is, do you want to go play with Dan Quinn, or do you want to play with Matt Uberfluss? I'm just throwing Dan Quinn out because everybody loves to play with Dan Quinn. As long as so much you can do, and they got money over there. Real money. $100 million in salary cap. Ready to spend this year. Washington finna go for it, y'all. This year here, they lost yesterday. Washington is about to go for it next year. They're going to spend that money in free agency, and they're going to make another run in it. While they don't have to pay Jaden Daniels yet. That's why you get this team. They're doing it the right way. You build a team up while your quarterback is for cheap. So that when this time comes, the team is already there. They're going to spend that $100 million, y'all. Washington is going to be here in our face for the next few years. Philly going to be there. We know that. And we got to find a way to match up to them. So, yes, I say sign Golston. Brock Hoffman. I ain't spending a lot of time on that. Of course you re-sign Brock Hoffman. Of course you sign him. He will be cheap. He will be cheap. He's one of our own, as the Jones family like to say. You resign him. I don't even think that's worth really conversating. Yeah. You re-sign Brock unless somebody just, makes an offer that he can't refuse and go play there. I mean, that's all they're going to get him, take him away. I think that Brock is worth signing. Brock very well could, until we find out the game plan of the offensive line next season, Brock could very well be a starter next year. And that's going to be dependent on if Zach Martin retires, then we got some adjustments we got to make. Even if that means moving BB to guard and let Brock play center. Or let BB stay at center and then have Hoffman at guard. See, we ain't got to draft. I know y'all love drafting first round linemen. I said it before, Brock Hoffman is an answer to your problem right there. You ain't got to go draft another guard. You got it. You see what I'm saying? So I say sign Brock Hoffman, without a doubt. Mukwamo, I say let him go. And the only reason why I'm saying that because he can't get on the field. He ain't beat out nobody. He ain't beat out nobody. We can't see him because he can't get on the field. He ain't been really hurt. He can't get on the field. He ain't start. He wasn't gonna start above Malik Hooker, and he wasn't gonna start above Donovan Wilson. Remember, they paid Donovan and Hooker. Y'all know how the Cowboys are. If they pay you, you gonna play. Yeah. Easy want to play. Easy want a chance to play. And, he ain't gonna get much money, but there's a better chance of him getting slightly overpaid than signing to Dallas, because Dallas gonna offer him less than what he was getting paid. He ain't done nothing in Dallas. Then let him play. I think he gone. Now, like I said, we gotta keep up with all of this. These ones I let go and you let go according to the list. Because that's why I say Schottenhimer is inheriting a mess. You got to fill out this roster. And if Jerry and Steven's answer here is to go give me these crackerjack cheap free agents, like we know what they're going to do, then your depth is some trash. The depth going to be trash, according to the Steven Jones way. If you're going to get all these little Sesame Street free agents, this about 10 guys on this list that ain't going to be here next year. Let's keep looking. Marquise Bell. Marquise Bell can play. But who is the one that elevated him? Who is the one that elevated him to where he was? Dan Quinn. And he going to be cheap. See what I'm saying? I think Bell, he ain't got a chance to stop. He ain't got a chance to stop. Why would he stay? As great as Bell played last year, that he couldn't even get. They say, okay, we ain't going to that small linebacker stuff no more. As good as he played, he didn't get on the field. He was limited just to special teams. You know what I'm saying? It's just that simple. You cannot. I don't see it. I mean, Bell is gone. Oh my God. Kevontae Turpin. Man, look, why do I have to say? I don't have to say nothing about Kevontae Turpin. Guess what? You ain't never paid a kick return. You gonna pay one now. You gonna pay one now. And why is that? Cause he's earned it. First team All-Pro this year. Pro Bowl kick returner, I believe, twice. He's the best, considered to be the best in the game as far as returning ball goes. It ain't even a question. If you want to keep him, you got to pay him a little bit. You got to pay him. And I say you should. You don't need to take away. See, when you got first team All-Pros and Pro Bowl players, you don't need to be. You need to keep those guys. You don't need to be. Yeah, the cow. Look, you need to be there. Now I know what Bones at. He's in Tennessee, and Turpin game is universal. Y'all know that. If you can return anywhere. You can return kicks anywhere. But Turpin is earned, so we can't come to him disrespectful. Any team would love to add the first team All-Pro to their team. So if it's a bidding war, you may need to break out the checkbook now. You ain't gonna spend a lot of money on Fred, but that one there you got to do. You got to. Yes, re-sign him, and keep in mind his raise will be like $20 million for him. He's not getting paid. Somebody find that out. What did Turpin get paid this year? Somebody find that out and put it there. So it's not going to take a lot to get him, but it's going to be a bidding war. So you're going to have to You know, if you want to keep him, you have to jump in and bid. You have to bid for him. There ain't no question. You got to do it. All right. Next one down. Who is that? Wanye. I ain't even looking in the chat. I'm not going to look at the chat. Somebody find out what Turpin got paid for me. I'm sorry, I'm not prepared. I should have did that earlier. But whatever it is, he's gonna get paid. He's gonna get triple his money. All right, Wanye. First of all, Wanye can't get on the field, and it's not because of him. It's that word loyalty again. And when I say loyalty, I'm talking about loyal to. Okay, my son just picked it out for me. Kevontae Turpin signed a 3-year, $2.5 million contract with me. He's getting paid $853,333. Turpin is going to get at least $3 to $4 million, if not more. He's going to be one of these free agents that you're going to have to overpay for. Yeah, but that overpaying part, Turpin might go with the most money. Somebody might offer him 6 or 7. That's little, maybe it might be too cheap. Thank you, Bobby. I saw $833,000. Y'all know Turpin's supposed to get paid way more than that next year. He's earned it, and you're gonna have to realize you're in a bidding war. So you're gonna have to pull the checkbook out, and it's cheap. Wanye Thomas, man, can't get on the field, and so you ain't got to worry about paying big money to him because he's still kind of unproven. So you really ain't got to worry about paying him. But here's my thing. The loyalty from the Cowboys was keeping him off the field. He's a playmaker. But because you done paid Donovan Wilson and you paid Hooker, they're going to play the person that's getting paid. That's the Cowboys. They ain't gonna let that stuff sit on the bench. It just ain't going to happen. It's not. And now I'm looking at it. Some of you have already said it. For depth purposes, you do need to keep him. Because Donovan can get hurt or Hooker can get hurt. Then here we go. Wanye can play special teams. He's a playmaker. I say keep him. Last one. Tyus Wheat. Total waste of a roster spot. What has he done? What has he done? Well, he can't go, Jay Bryant. You have to trade to get him. He's not a free agent. Donovan Wilson not a free agent. He's under contract, and the Cowboys paid him well. So I don't think that's gonna happen. Tyus Wheat, we ain't seen nothing from him his entire tenure here with the Dallas Cowboys. You know, if somebody got to tell me, because I don't even know how to evaluate him, because I ain't got nothing on film really except in preseason, and his name wasn't being called out then. So even with all that, y'all, even people like Tyus Wheat, now that I look at it, let me go down the list again. What I said no's to. I got 1, 2, 3. Ezekiel had already gone, so I ain't worried about him. CJ. 4, 5, 6, 7. So all this list, I counted 7 that I said let them go. Well, those holes got to be filled, y'all. And I'm tired of being letting it be filled by practice squad type guys. I'm tired of it. I'm tired. Me tired, but I know that's what they're going to do. But I am tired of it. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Give me some depth. You get a true depth. Playmakers. No drop off. When the starters go out, here come the backups, and there's no drop off. That's what I need. We did well that year with Quinn and that. Oh, it's one other thing, since we were talking about D-Law. Sam Williams is coming back next year. Let's not forget that. Coming off his ACL. He's coming back. So you got your on the end, and of course we got to be fair to Sam because he's coming off the ACL as well. So we already should know by now. You got to give him at least a year to, full year come back, which he should have because he got the toe of his knee in training camp. So it'll be about a year right there at training camp. And Sam should be himself. Or close to it, I'm sorry. See what I'm saying? So this is what we're talking about. Now, what I don't have, there are some pretty good guys that other teams are going to have to let go. The question is, do you fill in what you lost with other guys from other teams, experience, and all that type of stuff? I think in the area of the cornerback position, I know y'all hear that static there. That's the music that played that. In the case of cornerback, we don't need to be putting no rookies out there. We don't need that. We need a deal like we got with Gilmore. We need something like that. A guy that's can play a little bit past his prime, but he's still effective when he plays. That's what Gilmore was for us. That's what we need. We don't need to be putting no rookies and practice squad guys out there again. We had that last year. We see how that worked out, and that's a no-sir. So you might have to spend some money free agent wise there. Do it just like you did Gilmore. Got to figure that out. But if we're going to make this thing work, something has to happen. And that is Jerry and Steven have got to get out the way. And we know that's not going to happen. They will go to USFL route or XFL, whatever the league name. The World Football League, I'm sorry. The Rocks League. They get at least 2-3 players from there every year. Every year. That's where Turpin came from. That's where Brandon Aubrey came from. They do well in the USF, in the World Football League. They do well getting played. They have a series out there. They pick all pros from there. I mean, they do well. But that's what they're going to do, y'all. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. I just don't, I don't know. And this is what Coach Schottenhimer is inheriting. So y'all, I'm telling y'all now, because I don't believe nor do I trust the Jones family. That improved it to me too many years. So be careful, I'm telling y'all before the first kickoff starts. Be careful how you judge Coach Schottenhimer when he has a front office that will not give him what he needs in order to really be successful. So you got to be real careful on judging him. Because what we just said is, I ain't talking about who they should sign. Whoever I say they're going to sign, they're not going to sign anyway because they're too cheap. They're too cheap. So I'm not going to the judge coach. I'm telling you, Schottenhimer, I'm not going to do it next year. Because I already know what the Jones family going to do. They're not going to do right. They're not. Y'all going to be so hyped seeing these big names coming out, talking about their free agencies and all that thing. How can I trust? I ain't trusting that. I ain't trusting them. They ain't going to give him what he needs. What's this? William said, let me see. William said, do you trust a first time head coach calling plays? I think he'll be overwhelmed. Not in this case, William. This dude ain't that nervous, man. See, the point that you got to give him respect for is this. He's been an offensive coordinator all his life almost. All his coaching life, just about. He comes from a father who's a Hall of Fame coach. You know, some of this stuff, that counts because he's been around it. He ain't too far from those Seattle years. Look at the other coach he was around, Pete Carroll. He knows what the picture should look like. He coached with his daddy. He coached with Schottenhimer. And yes, he coached with McCarthy. He knows what the picture looks like. Offensive coordinator is something that he does in his sleep, which tells you he know how to read defenses. He know how to game plan against defenses. He's an offensive coordinator. I don't have no problem with it. Who else gonna call the plays for you? The reason why, and I told y'all this at the beginning, about the offensive coordinator, about the head coach is, how are you gonna make my quarterback better? The Cowboys did the best thing. They brought back his quote-unquote offensive coordinator. See, I said it. See, when you said Schottenhimer was the coach, I said, shoot, man, please. Dak ready to play football right now. He ain't got nothing to learn. Except a few new wrinkles maybe that Schottenhimer going to put in. But it's obviously that a lot of the plays are going to be the same. You're just going to be running the ball a whole lot more. That's all. Plays going to be the same, but you're going to be running the ball a whole lot more. That's all it means. So, Dak, look, the offense is ready to go just about now. They are. They ready to roll. Ain't no learning curve. It's not a learning curve. It's nothing. These guys are ready to go. Same offense. Whoever the new running back or maybe the new wide receiver or if there's an offensive tackle, there ain't only about 2 or 3 people that got to learn. Everybody has been here. They ready to go. Yeah. Yeah, he can do it. There's nothing to talk about. Running the offensive system is what he does. So, he ready to go. No, William. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir, William. Not this coach. Not this coach. Not Schottenhimer. Kellen Moore, I would say you would be right if the coach was Kellen Moore. Right there. But not this coach. His track record is too similar in every place where he went. Every offense he's been in that he coordinated, was highly physical. I don't need to remind you of those Seattle teams. I don't have to remind you that. That offensive line was physical. Marshawn Lynch, physical. Penny from Seattle, physical. Come on now. He embraces it. I mean, it just splashes. It just splashes onto the team. He's a physical type guy. He learned it from his daddy. That's all they did back then. Run the ball. When he went to Seattle, they weren't putting the ball in the hands of Russell Wilson. They run the football. When he was offensive coordinator, he knows what this thing's supposed to look like. Now you give him a quarterback like that, and you give him a first team all pro wide receiver, or second team, I'm sorry. And if you give him a running back that's a home run threat, along with Rico, look, you ready to play football. Jake is physical. You ready to play? Nah, so I'm not. Nah. He's ready to go. I have total confidence. I got confidence in Coach Schottenhimer. I do. JD. See, these are the type, it's nothing wrong with doing, thinking this. But see, yeah, this is what mess up Cowboy fans. You get mad when people don't go like this. You know good and well that you're not going to get T. Higgins. T. Higgins is a $20+ million wide receiver. You know the Cowboys are not going to pay 2 wide receivers in total that's going to equal over $50 million for both of them. There's no way. You know that. So I'll let you entertain that, JD. And yes, it will be frightening to have CeeDee Lamb on one side, T on the other side, and a real good running back there. It would be frightening. But we're talking about Jerry Jones. We're talking about Steven in particular. You know that is not going to happen. So I ain't going to even entertain it. Cowboys with that right there. See, that's the type of stuff Philadelphia do, what you just suggested. That's the type of stuff that everybody does. That's the type of stuff everybody does. Yeah. It's everybody except the Cowboys. We go for the cheap route. So it is what it is. This one has to be taken care of first before we start talking about the draft. This is what has to happen. You know how the Cowboys are. You know we're gonna let guys go, as every team will. But we don't do our free agent shopping until day 9, day 10. Everybody gonna say this guy's leaped to the Cowboys, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, but the Cowboys ain't leaped to him. Y'all see what I'm saying? I don't know why people want to throw up big names. Cowboys don't sign big names. We know that. So y'all gonna be mad. Jerry, please sign. Y'all, Jerry ain't thinking about signing no guys like that. And y'all know that. Don't even try hard to not get so hyped. Yeah. I haven't seen it, Jay Bryan. I need to check out my boy Okoye and see what he done said. Because one thing about it, I know he done researched him, and then I know he got film ready for it. So I'm definitely gonna look at what Okoye had to say for sure. You heard Schottenhimer say today that he loves the motion game. I mean, how long we been begging for that? Same plays, but you put some wrinkles in, a little motion. You know, different formation setup. Same plays, just different. I heard him say it, JD, but I believe it when I see it. Yeah, I don't believe it. Look, John family gonna say what they saying, trying to calm down the fans because they know that the fans are ticked off because they keep doing the same thing. Stephen Jones ain't and don't never want to spend any money. He's not gonna do it. We all know that. So that I started laughing when he said that. He ain't gonna do that. Uh, Edwards said defense should benefit from practicing against the offense being physical. They're gonna be physical. They are. I just hope we got weapons with the physicalness. Don't give me a Brandon Cooks. Don't give me that. Go give me another wide receiver. You know, Gente is there. If Luther Burden is there, hey, go ahead. Yes, Shane. I do believe that's what he knows. Then y'all hear him say he was the offensive coordinator of the Jets when they went to the AFC Championship game with Mark Sanchez as the quarterback. He was the coordinator with Rex Ryan. He was. They ran the ball like crazy. Seattle. They ran the ball like crazy. They ran the ball like crazy. Y'all remember Marshawn Lynch and Penny and all in the big offensive line? You remember how hard it used to be to win in Seattle? Man, come on now. Schottenhimer know what he's doing. But you got to give him what he needs. You got to give him what he needs. Williams says Ryan offense hadn't ranked well in his career. Reason why he hadn't been a head coach. Wait and see for me. Yeah, but there were some offenses that he led the league in rushing multiple times. Okay. You better look again at that one. Wait. Yeah. I'm just going down some of the comments, the ones I missed. The old line coach is huge, exactly. Gary says, Mitchell says that Gary said that Turbin is a restricted free agent, which means whatever team offers him, Cowboys can match it. If they lose him, they receive a draft pick the following year, I believe. You're absolutely right, and that's why I say it's going to be a bidding war. Somebody's going to try to overpay for him. Cowboys got to make a decision. Are we going to pay this for just a kick return? You sure are. Because he's earned the right to get paid. He's the best in the game at his position. And he's been that for about the last 2 years at least. And in his rookie year, he was just about one of the best then. He's one of those guys you truly do have to game plan for. You know, you got now with Turbin, you got to know where to kick it, how far to kick it, and just kick it out of the end zone. He's one of those guys you got a game plan for from the kickoff return position or punt return. That's how dangerous he is. I don't know. I'm going way back. What's up, Gary? Exactly. Exactly, Gary. He's all pro. He's earned the right. So you're gonna get into a bidding war. You just better be prepared to pay some more than what he got paid. As I just told you guys before. I think he got paid $850 some odd $1,000. You know he's gonna get paid. They know that. You just don't know how much it's gonna be. You better pay him. You better pay him. You gotta pay him. Yeah, yeah, exactly, Bob. You know, some things ain't worth thinking about. You just going to, you know, you got to pay it. He's one of your guys, as you say. He's our guy. Okay, sign your guy. You know, that's what you like to do. You like to draft and develop, or you know, sign or free agents or whatever. Your first team down. You know, this dude is the truth. First team All Pro this year. Look, nothing to talk about. Damn, you don't take weapons away. Cowboys, they got stuff different, man. Your guys get good, then you want to cheat them out. Talking about, hey, we can go to the draft and get three of him in the draft, and we can be cheaper. Yeah, but are you gonna be as good? The answer to that is no. Stop it. That makes sense. So I ain't gonna get hyped. I just hate that Coach Schottenhimer after hearing him today, which I love his press conference. I did. Very emotional guy. Um, very happy. Coaching over 25 years and finally got, you know, the chance to be a head coach. I have no problem with Coach Schottenhimer. I believe he's a good. I believe he can coach. And it just and if they don't win, look no further than the top of the chain, which is Jerry and Stephen Jones. You want to beat, and here's the thing: as I told you guys before, Washington is not going anywhere. They are going to be in a spending free for the next 3 years or so because Jaden Daniels is on a rookie contract, and they're gonna build this team so high in the air while they can. While they can, they're gonna pay him. Pay players. That's why I said that $100 million is gonna be crazy for Washington. They're gonna be here for the next few years in our face. Philadelphia is not going anywhere. And in my view, both of them, yes, I know it's 1 year from Washington, but common sense ought to tell you, man, barring injury, the Washington Commanders are only going to get better. There are guys that want to play for Dan Quinn. Do you understand me? They will take, some guy will take less money to go play for Dan Quinn. They are only going to get better. And we talking about, you know, they're talking about Super Bowl and all that. We get us over the top. You get over, you win Super Bowls when you got players. You got to have players to win Super Bowls. Yeah. Giants got money. Giants just a quarterback away from adding on about another, depending on who the quarterback is. They're about a quarterback away, a good quarterback away, add on an extra 3 or 4 games on today's record. Just the truth. Just the truth. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I even show you a scenario. I can tell you right now the Giants are going to get better. Because, see, there's a couple of decisions got to be made elsewhere. One is Russell Wilson or Justin Fields. I think the Steelers are going to go with Justin Fields, which means Russell Wilson will be a free agent again. You put Russell Wilson in New York with neighbors and that, you know, a pretty good defense. That's 3 more wins, at least. Seriously. Seriously. You know, there are some teams that only are just 1 or 2 moves away from flipping everything upside down, just like Washington did this year. It ain't gonna take some of these things ain't gonna take long. It'll take long when you trying to go against the grain, like Stephen Jones does. With these Oscar Mayer free agents, cherry Kool-Aid free agents. You know, yeah, it's gonna take a little time. It's gonna take some time when you plan it that way. See? See? Well, check it out. If he go with William and Matt, if he goes with the Raiders, isn't it safe to say you think the Raiders are going? I mean, how many games they win this year? 4 or 5. I think Russell Wilson there going to at least give you 3 more wins. In other words, improvement. Sometimes it just takes a different quarterback. But as far as the Cowboys go, let's just be honest. Everybody knows that the injuries destroyed the 49ers. Everybody know that. If the 49ers wouldn't be healthy, there's a very good chance that they will be playing in 2 weeks. That's how good they are when they're healthy. And everybody know that. Well, what if the 49ers come back next year healthy? Do the Cowboys beat the 49ers? They just got Robert Saleh back as their defensive coordinator. You already know the defense is going to be top notch. See, I'm just giving you the teams that are really in front of us. I think Detroit is going to take a big step back because they just lost both of their coordinators. Ben Johnson gone, Aaron Glenn still there. I think they're going to take a big step back. But they got players. See? But the 49ers, Washington, Philly, I think Minnesota was lucky to me. I don't trust Sam Darnold. I don't care how well he played this year. Yeah, exactly. Gary say signing these bland rice cake free agents. Exactly. I'm saying you at least want to stay competitive. And it's going to take players. See, you ain't talking about, well, we going to win it our way. But your way ain't, that way ain't winning, man. You got to get some players in here. See? You got to get some players in here. Talent level. If you're going to beat Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Jalen Hurts, Dallas Goedert, and a number 1 defense in the league, guess what it's going to have to take to beat them? Players. Not third string guys starting. Not practice squad guys starting. You're going to have to go ahead and get them because they paying. They getting better. And guess what? Philly what? 2 out of the last 3 years, whatever it is. Super Bowl. Kansas City, of course, stay in the Super Bowl. They live there. You should call it the Kansas City Chief Invitational. That's what you should call it now, not the Super Bowl. The Kansas City Chief Invitational. That's what it should be called. Stay in the Super Bowl. 49ers just can't get over them to get it done. Baltimore Ravens end up in the same spot. Just can't quite get it done. But they got players everywhere. Buffalo, even though the team was a little less this year, played their hard out. Just can't get past Patrick Mahomes. What is it going to take to beat Patrick Mahomes? Players. I mean, all these teams had to look at this. Look what Williams just said. Green Bay, Rams, Tampa Bay. Look, y'all, we behind. We falling behind every year because of this stubborn mentality that we got on how to do a team. And this is it. Because if your team is good, it's going to be very rare that you're going to draft close to the top 10 again. You got to hit home runs in this draft. Because you don't be drafting high in each round. You got to go ahead and get it done. Dak getting older, Dak getting hurt nonstop, every other year now. Look, you got to protect them. Run the football. How do you protect them? You go give me a running back. I'm just saying, yeah. It's not this hard for me. But we got to take care of this list here that y'all see. Yeah, Bobby said Atlanta. You know, once they quarterback really get their feet wet, look out. Look out. We got work to do, y'all. And it starts with that free agent list. And that free agent list is gonna tell us, number one, which direction way we're going in the draft. And it's also gonna tell us how serious they are about winning. Seriously. And then the big news, because the big news is gonna be how long. Look, Jerry and Steven, they just killed me. Everybody knows the money they could be, and I'll close with this. How much money they will save if they go in and restructure that, restructure Lamb. I mean, we talking $50 million at least. Come on now, this is not hard. Do it so you can get some more money. We all know Parsons has to get paid. We all know that, and you gonna pay him. You know you gonna pay him. You better pay him. You know. And what Schottenhimer, he threw a slick comment out. Schottenhimer, if y'all saw the press conference, I love what he said. He said, if we're not talking about winning the Super Bowl, why are we here? If we ain't talking about winning the Super Bowl, what are we doing? That's a smack to them, even though they didn't say it. That's a smack to Jerry and Steve. Since y'all want to come out with this little pick pack mentality that y'all got. I don't. He's saying I'm translating. He's saying I don't do that. And finally, I know I keep saying it. I sound like a preacher, don't I? That's me. That's what I say. I close, and then I got to close at least 5 times. Y'all don't blame me for that. I'm a preacher. Let me tell you something. If last night didn't tick off Jerry and Steven by saying Washington, Philadelphia in that championship game yesterday, I don't know what else would get him. He possibly is going to watch Philadelphia. And I want the Chiefs to win. I want the Chiefs to win because I ain't never want Philadelphia to win nothing. But it is almost a benefit that Philadelphia do win the Super Bowl because it's a slap to Jerry. That might wake him up like I'm ticked off now. Our rivals done it again, and I don't want to hear nothing about. Talking about. Well, we don't have a problem with Philly. Dak beats up Philly. That's factual. I get it. That beats up Philly. So we ain't worried about Philly. We'll handle them. But I don't want to hear all that. You beat them, but they always in the playoff. You beat them, but they'll be in New Orleans in a couple days. While we sitting here, while you at the East-West Shrine game, while you at the Senior Bowl, they be having team meetings and getting a game plan together to beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. While y'all sitting here interviewing guys from the East-West Shrine game, they watching film on the Chiefs right now. That'll tick you off. You see, until they get ticked off, I ain't saying nothing. God bless Coach Schottenhimer. I believe he's going to do well. I really do. Coach Schottenhimer going to do well. I don't think we're going to be questioning, can he coach? I don't think we're going to do that. I just can see us. I just believe Coach Schottenhimer going to be good. But just like when things start going well for Rico Dowdle, everybody could see it. Rico Dowdle got there, and what happened? Jerry and Steven got in the way. Rico was running, and then Ezekiel Elliott started crying. Talking about he ain't getting no carries. He really like he should start and all that type of stuff. And the very next week, Rico Dowdle was in a jogging suit on the sideline. And they gave the ball to Zeke Elliott, and he did absolutely nothing. And it was almost like they wanted to lie and say something wrong. Rico wasn't nothing wrong, Rico, at all. The only thing was wrong was that Zeke Elliott started crying, and you were loyal to Zeke Elliott, and you messed up everything. Rico Dowdle could have been a 1,400 yard back this year if y'all would continue to give him the ball, but you're too busy trying to satisfy. You got in the way. I hope that they don't get in this dude's way. Because, see, you know what's going to happen, y'all? Hey, Gary, this is the second closing. Second closing. You know what's going to happen, man. Jerry is going, I'm telling y'all, watch that. Jerry is going to get in the way. Remember, Coach Brian Schottenhimer said that he's anyway, everybody knows he's a run-heavy type dude, okay? And it will be going fine. The line will be blocking. Everything will be going just fine. Running back pounding the ball, offensive line physically dominant, all that type of stuff. That's going to happen. And they're going to be running the ball. And then Jerry going to walk his old J.R. Ewing looking tail down there. And Steven with his Andy Griffin looking tail. They gonna get there and they gonna come down there and say, I'm paying a man $60 million as a quarterback. I'm paying a wide receiver $35 million a year. We need to throw the ball. They did it last year with Zeke and Rico. And I'm telling you right now, I guarantee you, they're going to say the same thing, just flip it. They're going to say, I got a $60 million quarterback. I got a $35 million all-pro receiver. I'm telling you right now, they're going to go down there and Rico and whoever the other running back, Cowboys going to run for 200 yards rushing, starting out, just pounding the ball. You're going to get some folks going to say, man, the Cowboys have one of the best offensive lines in the entire game because they're running, killing people. And then Jerry going to march his Marshall Dillon looking tail down there and going to say, we got to pass the ball. And Brian Schottenhimer, being a first-year coach, ain't going to do nothing but say, yes, sir. Yes, sir, Jerry. Yeah. I have the shotgun for you for the entire game next week. Yeah, I know. I can see that. All right, I'm done. I hope y'all enjoyed my little cowboy sermon there. Follow the money, y'all. Wherever the money is, that's who's going to get the ball. The ball going to be in Dak Prescott's hand, throwing that ball like crazy. I already see it. It's going to start off running, though. It ain't going to stay with it. Yeah. The respect to be given, Edward Montgomery. The respect, like, okay, man, look, this offensive line, it's going to be the same folks everybody criticize. It's going to be the same folks everybody criticize. It's going to be the same folks everybody criticize, and them same folks going to be considered the best, one of the top 3-4 lines in the game. Because the way they moving people, the way they knocking folks off the ball, that's what they're going to do. If you get gentle, everybody will say, oh my God, this may be one of the greatest rookie running backs of all time. Oh my God. Rico. I mean, those two are 1-2 punch. They're gonna give them a new nickname. They're gonna be doing interviews together. They're gonna be the dreadlocking boys, whatever you want to call it. Both of them got dreads. They're gonna, they're gonna be ready. They're gonna be ready. And then as soon as it get a little bit too good, Jerry gonna have to stick his hand into it, just like he did last year with Ezekiel Elliott. Cause Ezekiel Elliott cried. He went down there and took the best running back out of the game, had him in a jogging suit. It to me was just a healthy scratch. And gonna change everything up. Cause Ezekiel Elliott, his old, he's an Instagram All-American. The greatest running back of all time on Instagram is Ezekiel Elliott. Running through air. Running around tires that don't hit. Jump cutting. I ain't seen the main jump cut. And I ain't seen the main jump cut in the game in 40 years. Kind of misses that. Nowhere to be found. In Instagram, he's a Hall of Famer. Y'all saw all them videos doing all that grunting and stuff. Grunting like he lifting weights and all that. Everybody pumping him up. Hey, the boy moved well against the air. It's when people were real people around when the problems are. Jerry gonna mess this up, y'all. Jerry gonna mess it up. He is. He gonna mess it up. Cause Jerry got to be Jerry and Stephen Jones got to be Stephen. We done seen it too long. Why should I see anything different? They got to mess things up. I'm out. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for hanging with me. Appreciate everybody that was in the comments. Thank you to all those that were on TikTok. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you to those that were on Twitter, Facebook, and all that. Appreciate y'all. Hey, it's still go Cowboys. But now the real work begins. And unfortunately for us, that work is not in the hands of Coach Schottenhimer. That work is in the hand of Jerry and Stephen Jones. So we right back in the same spot, y'all. The Jones family. May God, in his infinite wisdom and in his greatness, take care of all of us. As we now have moved, the excitement now is over. We got our head coach. And now we're right back into the hands of Jerry and Stephen Jones. I'm out. Be like David Copperfield. I'm finna disappear on y'all. This has been the Big Time Show.